Here we have a pre-owned 2016 Toyota Prius 4. This one comes in the touring trim level in Blizzard Pearl. And then we have that Moonstone Softex interior. The powertrain consists of a 1.8 liter naturally aspirated hybrid engine, and that's mated to a continuously variable transmission. This car has a little over 53,000 miles on it. But to the front end here, standard LED headlamps, along with our LED fog lights. And you might have just heard that engine shut off here, but a nice front fascia for the Prius. Not as good looking as the new body style, but still pretty impressive, I think. Down here to the wheels, these are gonna be 17-inch alloy, and you do get the aero covers as well. But I like that design too. Passive keyless entry on the front. And then we get one-touch up and down windows on all four doors, power door lock controls, rear window lock, and our power mirror controls. This one does have blind spot monitors as well. Traction control, auto high beams, and then we have our gas cap, hood release, foot pedal parking brake, a manual tilt, as well as telescoping steering wheel. But here's our power driver's seat with two-way power lumbar support. And a really nice interior, I think, on this overall. But big thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever pre-owned vehicle you might be interested in. Now, coolest things about the Priuses are just how much room they have, specifically in this body style and newer. I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, and I can probably scoot it up even a little bit more. But I'm actually pretty comfortable back here, and it's really just how long the seat is. If you look there, and then the space that you have is so wide, I can just put my leg right here, other leg there. And when I sit behind myself, I have a little bit of space before I actually hit the back of the seat. So I just find that pretty nice. And with this wider interior, you can see we already have a little bit of splotching from whoever had blue jeans back here, but that's gonna happen on wider interior. There's a 12 volt there. And then this middle seat folds down, bottle holders are there in the middle. Grab handle here, you can hang a shirt or a pair of pants on that hook. But as we make our way towards the back, the child locks here on the side, lock, unlock. And there's your gas cap there. Just had to put regular fuel in it. And of course, one of the reasons these are so great is the incredible fuel economy. This one was rated 55.5 for the average before I got in it. I've just been sitting in it, but they get very, very good fuel economy. But cargo space is actually pretty generous in my opinion. Let's see what we have underneath here. Inflator kit. And then you have hooks back here if you want to hang some stuff as well. And then you have a switchable light, which is nice. And a quick look underneath, you can see that exhaust. Now to the rear passenger side. If you ever want to fold the seat flat, you can do that from either side. Push this in there. When the seats are up far enough, these will fold flat. Your top tethers are integrated in the back of the seats themselves. Fold that back up, and then your lower latch anchors behind this Velcro there. And then our front passenger seat's manual, so seat back can be adjusted there. Seat bottom, just pull up there. And there is your glove compartment. But really, just can't say enough about this interior. It looks really, really nice. To the front end. Again, there's the 1.8 hybrid 4-cylinder. Let's check out the turn signals. So nothing too special going on here. Just a little incandescent bulbs, but at least they work, right? So nice Softex wrapped steering wheel. There's the horn. Now before I go to the radio, I'm gonna show off the gauge cluster here. So most of that can be adjusted with these knobs, which I'll show you after a while on the steering wheel. So we can go through that, sub menus. Just a lot that you can fool with there. And honestly, it can be a bit overwhelming at times. Can y'all even see that? Probably not. I might just waste my time, but go into the vehicle settings here. Maintenance system is there, and then you can go up to the meter customize and change your language right in there. But there's a lot you can see. But to the actual radio itself, the hazards up top, we get AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth audio, CD drive, aux input, and then your navigation system here. And then XM weather, and this one does have Sirius XM enabled, so I have the XM weather through the weather channel, and then you can also pull up the traffic and all of that there. Now your setup here, go to general. You can change your weather temperature units there. Your language can also be changed here. And then everything else. Backup cameras there. And then you have single zone automatic climate controls down here. So fan speed, temperature, fan direction, then your auto mode is here. Set on the Eco HVAC there if you want to, and then you can cut the back vents off there if you want. And then just have it set up for the driver. Volume knob here, click there to turn the audio off. And then down below, you have heated seat controls, so 2-stage heated seats. And what I like about these is you can flip them low or high, but when you have the passenger one on, if for whatever reason they don't turn it off, and you need to turn yours on, you can see if they left theirs on. Now to put the car in a gear, hit the brake, pull over here for neutral, pulling up for reverse, pulling down for drive, and then you have your braking mode just by pulling down there. And then there's your park. A big plus is the drive mode. So we have 3 drive modes, surprisingly, in a hybrid Prius. Normal, eco, and then your power. And you have the EV mode as well when the battery's charged up enough. Wireless charging pad here, and surprisingly this still works on my iPhone. I think this is a 14, even though this is a 2016 vehicle. Bottle holders are there. And then you have a 12 volt and then your USB-A and aux input for the radio right there. Center console cubby space, and then your removable tray is right here. Oh, how that was in there. There we go. You can slide that forward and back. There's a view of the back from up here. There are your lights. Sunglasses holder. Garage door transmitter is integrated in the rear view mirror. But back to the steering wheel itself, left side blinkers, of course, high beams, and then your fog lights can be controlled here. You can just set your auto headlamps there. And then we do get automatic wipers. So one time off, auto, low, high. We can adjust that auto sensitivity here, and your rear wipers here. Intermittent on. Push back for that rear wiper fluid, pull up for the front. And then for your volume, adjust that here. Track list or radio station presets can be gone through here. And then you have the trip meter, which you can toggle. So if you look below the speedometer there, you can see the different modes you have there. I'm sorry if that fan speed's coming through. But Bluetooth controls, voice recognition, and then these 4 arrows. All of this here is what I was showing you earlier. It goes through that gauge cluster. Lane departure, voice or forward collision alert, gap adjust, as well as the radar cruise control. And then you can turn that on or off there. And then when you turn it on and hold, that's your regular cruise. And then you just turn it back on to turn the radar on. Then you can set the speed there and cancel there. Push button start right in here. Finally, here is the key fob. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2016 Toyota Prius Four Touring out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Prius here, not really a necessarily quick car, but it does get up when you put your foot into it. And it's not fast, but I also wouldn't necessarily call it slow either for something that gets 55 miles per gallon, as you can see by the average that's been done here. And I'm in the power mode now, but I'll put it in the eco after I do this pull getting on the interstate. Something tells me the previous owner, just by their radio stations, like the presets that were here, they probably had this in normal mode most of the time and were borderline road hazards with how slow they were driving, but that's how you get 55 miles per gallon, so I respect it. I'm gonna slow down here, give it a pull. Here we go. Oh, now that's fast. That is fast. I don't know why that doesn't get old. But honestly, I mean, I was coming down the ramp there, so it's a 1.8 four-cylinder hybrid. It's not going to be quick, but I think it's adequate for most driving situations. Now, that was in the power mode, so I don't want to say it was disappointing because it's a Prius, but it ain't quick. But that's not why you get these cars. Having an eco mode now. Wind noise is coming through just a bit. Can't really hear the road noise. Maybe just a tad there, but I mean, a good commuter car, I think. It's not something that makes a lot of noise in here, even though it's a smaller car, it's lower to the ground. It's just very average in that sense, which is good, I think, for something that gets this kind of fuel economy, but also that has this kind of space in here. Again, me being 6'3", headroom is fantastic here. The seats pretty wide for my wider stature, and I'm able to adjust the steering wheel so I can fit my knees just underneath the seat here, or underneath the steering wheel here. And actually one of the best brake pedal feels I've had in a Toyota, even though this has regenerative braking. Now, I do want to give one more thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever pre-owned vehicle you might be interested in. Now, for this to be a 19 grand car, I do think it's a pretty good deal at this point. Even though it's 10 years old, it still drives like new. It still feels fresh. It still feels modern. You still have all the tech you would expect, other than Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. But there are many ways to fix that situation there if that's a deal breaker for you. Having adaptive cruise is, I think, pretty impressive for a Toyota in 2016. Even though it's a touring, but you know, just most of the stuff that you would get in the standard safety sense package from Toyota today, other than the lane centering, is here in this vehicle. But I love how easy it is to drive this thing, how easy it is to get great fuel economy here, and just how pleasant it is behind the wheel. The only place where this car suffers, and it doesn't really suffer because you know what you're getting, is when it comes to the power output. But with low power, hopefully comes great fuel economy, and that's what you get in this car particularly. And for what it is, I actually think it's rather quick. It's just not quick compared to other cars out on the road. And especially down these back roads and whatnot, it's just almost silent. And when you're going between the the battery to the gas powered motor, and even when the gas powered motor is on, it's super quiet. It just makes for a more, I guess, relaxing drive. I'm just very relaxed behind the wheel here, and I think the car is as well, which is why these also last quite a long time. So I think this will make somebody a really good car for years to come. And another thing is, it does get the lifetime powertrain warranty on here since it's under 10 years old. It doesn't cover the hybrid battery, but it does cover the 1.8 and the CVT. So if you buy that from Chevy Buick GMC of Murfreesboro, that's one of the pluses there. But with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2016 Toyota Prius 4 Touring.